cannot breathe.
Du går iväg.
Cannot see. Cannot breathe.
Du går iväg.
Cannot see.
Du går iväg.
Cannot look in between. I cannot breathe, I can't see, I can't look in between. I cannot breathe, I can't see, I can't look in between.
Jag kan inte andas när jag ser hur du går iväg. Jag kan inte andas när jag ser hur du går iväg. Du går iväg.
I cannot breathe,
Jag kan
cannot see,
inte
cannot breathe.
andas när jag
Cannot breathe,
Jag kan
cannot see,
inte
cannot breathe.
när du går iväg.
Cannot see,
Du går iväg.
Horizon's too high, it's dark on my side. I made my own clouds, fueled by my pride. The ship falls away, the night turns to day. Remember why? Fire consumes, ashes remain.
Du går iväg. Jag kan inte
breathe, I can't see, I can't look in between.
andas när jag ser hur
Cannot breathe, cannot see, cannot breathe. Cannot breathe,
jag kan
cannot see,
inte
cannot breathe.
när du går iväg.
Cannot see, cannot breathe.
När du går iväg.
Cannot see,
Du går iväg.
cannot look in between. I cannot breathe, I can't see, I can't look in between. I cannot breathe, I can't see, I can't look in between.
Jag kan inte andas när jag ser hur du går iväg. Jag kan inte andas när jag ser hur du går iväg. Du går iväg.
I cannot breathe,
Jag kan
cannot see,
inte
cannot breathe.
andas när jag
Cannot breathe,
Jag kan
cannot see,
inte
cannot breathe.
när du går iväg.
my side. I made my own clouds, flew by my pride. The ship falls away, night.
We got a ton of great announcements, a huge show, and all the news and all the stuff that's going on. Possibly, allegedly. We are ripping right now. We got some sick giveaways. Amazing, everybody.
Spick Span Show.
We're good. Sheesh. That was a mission. We gotta get Alex a little closer here.
Hey guys,
Hold on. Sorry about
how are we
that.
gonna blame this on Ryan?
Yeah, we're gonna blame this on Ryan.
Let's see, it's 4:19. Sorry, we're 1 minute early. I'm at 19 minutes late. But Ryan did have his computer out there with him in the rain, so Kyle had to get the hairdryer out and put the computer in a sack of rice.
Yeah.
And finally, because of Kyle's genius electronics acumen, he fixed it for all of us. So thank you, Kyle.
You're welcome.
Without you, there would be no show today. Shout out to everybody in here. I see some homies in there. Mafia, Verbal. You guys were out there in the battling with your cameras in the rain too. So props to you guys. And we're happy to be back and dry. My feet, though, are still wet. So how about you, Kyle? How you doing?
I have not hosed my gear down yet, so I'm also not looking forward to that. Let me try to rearrange this here. So I was looking for the mic cord, and I couldn't find it, and realized it just wasn't plugged in there. But there's
Mario Trujillo says your hat is crooked. In case you didn't know, Mario, that is now the style. So, Crooked Hat Crew. There you go.
There we go. Shoosh. What's up? Sorry, that was a little, I felt like Ryan and Scott on the Fandango there.
Just so you know, there is a Spick and Span logo
Yeah,
over your face. You can leave that there, or just move your head.
I just fixed it. Getting these logos set. All right, I think we're good. Yeah, I'm sweating already, and it's not even that hot. That was just.
Dude, look what I had waiting for me on my desk when I got back.
Wow, yeah, I didn't even notice that. I was in too much stress going on.
This thing's nice, man. I mean, the print on this is insane. It's like I don't know. It's like another whole layer of goo on here. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, that like tough.
Yeah, and it's a super heavy quality shirt. I wasn't expecting it to be this nice.
Yeah, we put a lot of work into it. Make sure that it'll last for a long time through wash and dry and everything. So glad you like it.
Deep breaths, Kyle. Let's all take a cleansing breath here.
It's like going into overtime in the rain.
Yeah.
Everything's not working.
What a disaster.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, congrats to Impact. It was quite a weekend for everybody. Definitely some intense moments. Good times, though. Certainly, the way the field played was a little bit different at times. But, I feel like that's natural to have the field slow down a little bit. And whoever can adapt to that usually ends up going far in the tournament. And, we certainly made some mistakes. But I feel like third place is not too bad. Better than a stick in the eye, at least considering we were down to the Ironman by 3 points with a minute and a half to go.
Yeah. I mean, definitely went through some struggles in the prelims, to say the least. With that first losing to AC Dallas. And I think a big thing was them just playing a different game than we had practiced through all of the practices.
Sure, and the way AC Dallas played us in that prelim game, which was only our second game of the tournament, was kind of how the field played in the finals. Like, those guys sort of, I'm not going to say figured it out, but they adapted to that finals type of game, and we kind of, played into that and let them sort of dictate the pace of that game. So congrats to Diesel. Those dudes definitely gritted it out, got homies on that team. Um, Mark Johnson's the man. Definitely played great up through the center. Andy Horvath, Grayson Gladstone.
Yeah. So what else were
it's cool
some
to see those guys making some moves?
besides that? I mean, I guess another story was the Hurricanes going 4-0, beating both Houston Heat and Russians in their bracket and taking first in their bracket.
Yeah, I mean those guys. I saw them walking off after they lost to Heat in the quarterfinals, and they were really disappointed. So they really weren't content with just making it that far. Those guys are coming to win a tournament. So really exciting to see young guys like that and a new team that's really pressuring with some ferocity. So yeah, definitely not going to take it lightly when we play those guys for the first time.
Yeah, we still haven't played them yet, huh?
Nope.
Yeah, I saw a couple people in here asking if we could go over that match against the Russians.
Yeah, there's some interesting questions in here. What's up with the increase of violence? What are your thoughts on the standoff? I mean, there's a lot of... I mean, we could talk about that. We could talk about... I don't know, write some of these down.
Yeah, so we got increase of violence, which I don't know if I would really qualify it like that. I think that you actually see a lot of that. That happens in practice often, and I think it's kind of fun sometimes. I mean, when both guys are doing it, it's a little bit different. I'm sure both of them laughed afterwards, and I don't think there was any malicious intent. They both just started, and nobody wanted to back down there. And it's funny. I think we were talking before one of our matches. We were asking the refs what happened to those guys, as far as suspensions or whatever. And I feel like it was you that was like, I feel like players should be able to do that when they're just teeing off on each other one-on-one, like let them do it. And the refs are like, we agree. Like if they want to do that, and it's not affecting anyone else, or they're like putting someone into the ground while someone's gun's down, it's like, let them take it out on each other if they want to do it.
I don't know. There's got to be a line somewhere.
Yeah.
I hear the battle cry. Yeah. Is that a form of violence? I don't know. Anyway, yeah. Thanks for the shout outs on the battle cry, and Verbal for capturing that magical moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, man. I think there has to be some sort of rule there. I don't know what it is. I think they handled it properly, right? Like they gave the guys. Was there even a penalty on? There was no major, right? Because they didn't determine either guy was like playing on and affecting the game in that way. They just said, okay. Did they stop the game?
No, yeah, I think they stopped the game, but both of those players just had to sit out for the remainder of that match.
Yeah, fine. Okay, so then who won the point?
I believe it was. I mean, I don't know who won that point.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's meaningful. I don't know. I think that. And I talked to Matty Marshall about this a lot, and it kind of one thing that paintball's missing is that that thing that a lot of extreme sports have, and that's the stakes of actually getting hurt.
Sure.
And you have that in fighting, you have it in these death-defying sports like motocross and skateboarding and BMX riding, and there's actually risks to your body, life and limb, and people like to see that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this type of action certainly raises the stakes, right? Because there's an element of brutality there that's interesting to watch. Yeah, Verbal says football, of course. Yeah, I mean football. Those guys are, killing each other. So, I mean, yeah, it's an interesting thought. Should it just, but again, like that's a distraction from the game. So if that type of thing is happening, even if it's not a penalty, it's still, it still affects the way the point is played, which then affects the outcome of the game, which is, not okay.
Sure.
Because you want the best team to win, not the team that is causing the biggest distraction.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, definitely cool. I mean, definitely got a lot of attention, and shout out to those guys. I mean, Dylan Boyum and JC, two nice guys off the field, but I wouldn't, Jordan Jackson, am I wearing a wig? No, it's just a bad haircut. Thanks though. Anyway, yeah, I mean, and again, when we're at practice, we do that kind of stuff all the time.
Yeah. Yep.
So, we have protective gear, and we're used to getting shot, and, it's definitely not for the faint of heart, but, if you know, understand that you're safe and it's just going to be welts and your eyes are protected, then yeah, go for it.
Mm-hmm.
Bloody knuckles.
Yeah, I agree.
The wet field, how much was it a factor?
I know that first point I played in that Russian match, I didn't really get a bad start, but my foot slid like 4 inches back when I pushed off, and that definitely made me lose a step. And I got hit by Sergey shooting, right into that tower from the back center. And that was kind of unfortunate because, I wasn't really out there earlier in that match dealing with like those conditions. So that was like, I think the ground was a little bit, but like, I don't know if I'd say, did you think it was that bad in that first match?
I mean, if you're prepared, I always kind of like variable conditions, because if you're prepared mentally and with your equipment, then, you can have an advantage, because people don't want to be out there playing in the rain. Like it's people are like, oh God, it's wet and cold. If you can fight past that mentally and say, okay, I've got my paper towels, I've got my paint taken care of, I've got my, waterproof socks or whatever. And you do your best to, have preparation. So you do have that little edge. It's kind of like, almost like it's a chance to increase your chance of winning.
Mm-hmm.
So
sure.
I kind of like having those extreme conditions sometimes. I mean, I'd certainly rather play in the rain like that than the extreme heat. We grew up playing in the rain out at Mare Island, and those are some of my funnest days ever, just going out and in the soggy, in the woods, and it's kind of peaceful in a way where it's the sound of the rain and the water, and you're sliding around, and it creates an element of fun. So yeah, I mean, it certainly affects the way the game is played, because it is, in this sport especially, your equipment is so important, and the rain can affect all that. Your gun, your paint, the paint, or you get water inside your barrel and it doesn't shoot straight. So yeah, it's certainly, and when you're shooting, the condensation is creating this cloud in front of your face, so you can't really see where your paintballs are going.
Sure.
It's a whole a whole array of variables that can be changed. So, yeah. And I mean, you could see that in that move where Ryan went and bunkered Sergey, which was a critical moment in the match, and his gun didn't shoot. So, I don't know if it was his gun or his paint or whatever, but it was a problem for him and obviously for the team, because you're down by 1 point. I can't say that we would have won the point if that didn't happen, but you got to say we would have had a better chance to.
I mean, it looked pretty solid that we were going to win that point if that doesn't happen, because Ryan doesn't get shot right there. He's alive. Blake trades with the other. I think it was maybe Smotrov in that brick next to him, and then. Then I think it's a 2-on-1 at that point, right? With Ryan and Archie and whoever was over there on the Dorito side.
Yeah, I have to go back and watch it, but whatever. I don't know. C'est la vie. We'll be back at the next one and fighting hard. So bummer that happened, but you can look at one single moment in a match and say, oh, that's why we lost. But in reality, there was a lot of moments that we failed to deliver on earlier on in that match. So, it's just it's one of those things that you can be hypercritical about, but really, if you look at the entire match, there was a lot of mistakes made. So, yeah, he's saying Sergey got 3 kills in 10 seconds after that. Sure, obviously that affected the point then.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny though. He was like in disbelief, like he called himself out. And he's like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah, I know that's tough too. It was like, I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Like, I'm sure all of you saw the video. Did you think that it looked like he called himself out? That's a tough one, because I think, if I put myself in that position, I'm gonna also be like, well, I kind of stopped playing, but I didn't really like fully call myself out. And you see guys put their guns up in bunkers when they're trying to get tight.
Yeah, look, I feel like this is a really awkward or strange, unusual situation. The reason that they have a rule that if you call yourself out, you're out, is to prevent like a dead man's walk. And a dead man's walk is when you pretend you're out and then you go and like start playing again once you're behind the other team. So in this situation, I don't think he was, maliciously calling himself out to try to trick anybody.
Sure.
He actually thought like Ryan got behind him and shot him in the pack because Ryan had him dead to rights.
Yeah.
So that being said, I mean, in this situation, I don't think he should be, out because of that.
Yeah.
Now, do I think you should be, if you should be out if you call yourself out? Yes. So, I mean, there's a weird gray area there that I'm kind of contradicting myself. I understand that, but, the rules should be black and white. However, there is a weird circumstance here that you can look at it and say, okay, what's the intent of the rule? Did this really violate the intent of the rule? I don't think so.
Yeah. And then, it's kind of tough too, to penalize them for something that's kind of a gray area where he's like, I turned around and I saw that Ryan was messing with his gun, and I realized that like he didn't shoot me. I just saw him behind me, and he's like, obviously his gun's not working, so I realized his gun wasn't shooting. To then like overturn it and be like, oh, actually you guys lost the point, and now you have to start down bodies because of a gray area mistake.
Yeah, you can't do that. That's like, I don't know. Look, the way they called it and the way it played is the right way. Yeah. I think that's okay.
Thank you, Nick Sloviak, who's on our side. He said he was definitely calling himself out. That's what we were arguing for sure. You gotta try, right?
Yeah, I don't think there was much of an argument, but yeah.
Yeah.
And Chris Odom, I see him in here. It was awesome to meet him out at the event. He came out there on his crutches, looking good in all his Hormesis swag, and it's definitely cool to see him rooting on the boys and to have him in our pit for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to you, Chris. Great to see you out there, and hopefully we'll catch you in Orlando.
Yeah. It's good to see him. And Chris brought up a good point, too. Obviously he's bummed about his injury, but he was talking about like how hard it's been for him to climb back and get back into the NFL because his body's like, I guess, Chris, you could probably give a better percentage, but, your body's at 75%, 85% max because you're always wearing it down by training and playing games. So this not only gives him, unfortunately has to recover for his knee, but it also gives him a chance to get his entire body back to 100%, so that when he is back at full strength, he's going to come back out there with vengeance and be better than ever.
For sure.
Which I guess, it's good to find the optimistic perspective in all of these, unfortunate things that happen.
Yeah, Chris is just a super positive guy, like just amazing energy and stoked to be out there and enjoying. Like at the end of the tournament when we were breaking down the booth, the whole place was full of mud. I saw him. He's still there in the rain, hanging with the guys and trudging through the mud on one leg. So definitely a soldier. And yeah, I mean, you can definitely tell why he is successful in what he does because of his obviously his preparation and training, but also his attitude. Mm-hmm. So, and that makes me kind of circle back to you, Kyle, in that, this weekend, I really learned a lot from you in your kind of steadfast positivity and focus and really wanting to will and drive the team forward. And I know that you weren't playing, it's hard because we have 11 really good players and Skinny's, has a difficult choice to make there, and I wasn't even playing until Dalton got hurt. Mm-hmm. So I understand your situation, but a lot of guys don't handle it like you. I mean, you just I feel like leveled your focus and your involvement and your will up when that happened.
For sure,
right? Like, you became more of a leader than most of the guys on the team. And you're probably about the only guy in the pit, you and Yosh, that, were, still optimistic during that Ironman game. Like, mm-hmm. I even said it myself, like, look, man, I was checked out. I was like, okay, let's manage our differential here and make sure we don't get blown out. And, I looked over at you and you're like, no, we can still win this. Right. Let's do that. So, the guys got out there and 1 point. And then, we're in overtime and we take that down. So, amazing leadership skills, man. I take my hat off to you, or
Thank you.
my wig. I'll take my wig off to you.
I appreciate that. Yeah, it's tough with that 11-man roster, and I came in back to the team after you guys were already on a pretty good run, and I knew it wasn't like there's no guaranteed play time when you have 11 incredibly good guys, and that had to be earned back again. So how we were kind of doing that rotation for me coming in at third or fourth point in the match, it's a little bit difficult to figure out the flow of the match or how the other guys are playing. Regardless if you have all the intel, you're not on the field understanding those 1 to 3 players that you're dealing with every point and the adjustments they might be making, and just the changes that are happening constantly every new point. And so I went to SK that night after Friday, and I was like, hey, it's I obviously I want to play, but if it's going to be an issue where we're I don't want to hurt the team if we go out there. I'm not discouraged about my capabilities at all, but I want guys to be able to find that rhythm, and on top of that, I can help the guys in the pit win these games if I have the opportunity to kind of dissect the other team from the pit. Because I kind of felt on that that first day before we kind of knew how the rotation rhythm we were going to get into we manage our paint, so filling up your pack and then standing in the sun and then coming back and after maybe a couple points you dump those pods because they're getting hot. I started realizing I was so worried about managing that I was not focusing on what was going on in the game or helping other guys get ready or pointing things out that I was seeing that the other team was doing, looking for weaknesses and dissecting, what the other team was doing. So Skinny and I kind of talked about that. And as we kind of tightened up the roster, and, it wasn't just me, it was a lot of the guys. And as the field got tighter and we didn't need to stretch as much, it allowed, us to play 5 or 6 guys and get in a constant rhythm. And then allowed me to be able to find, little intricacies. In that rushing game, the only thing that I feel we were able to kind of pick apart in that breakout was, what Sergey was doing, coming high over the back center on the Dorito side and then instantly moving into the tower. Besides that, they didn't really give us anything to capitalize off the break. They weren't giving us any bodies to shoot. And, little stuff like that I wouldn't probably be seeing if I was trying to mentally prepare my own self to go back in and out, which I think, is helpful. And it does suck sometimes, but it's funny. I told Skinny,
it's not you were playing bad. It was just Skinny's decision. I mean, I was playing good, but he had different options. You got Dalton, you got Marcelo, you got Mike Urena. Those are we're all good players. So who are you going to give the reps to, and who are you going to count on when the chips are down, right? And you want to have those guys. I mean, what do you do? Not sit Archie and Ryan? I mean, no, you can't.
Yeah,
they're just those guys are elite players and great decision makers. And then you got Yosh and Blake, and now Damian and Arturo. Who Damian had an amazing practice. And he played really well in the tournament when he played. I mean, he didn't make mistakes. He's super fast. He got into the spots. But, come Sunday, what do you need? Speed or decision-making ability, right? So more often than not, it's the decision-making, right? Both teams are not taking any risks, and they're going to, it's usually a low-scoring game at the end, and you're just going to count on those guys that are going to be in there and make the right decisions. So it's a tough situation for Skinny. It's a bummer for some of the guys on the team, but that's just the nature of this, right? That's how you get to that point. You have those guys at practice. You have those options. You you all share your ideas, and then hopefully you can win the tournament together as a team. Maybe not everybody plays, because I've been in that situation too, where you go through a tournament, you play a little bit in the beginning, and then not that you're playing bad, you just that's not the way the coach feels that you're going to win the tournament. And some of the times they're right, maybe some of the times they're wrong, but just you got to have a positive outlook, and you certainly showed that. And I appreciate that, because I can't say that I've always had that outlook. Sometimes I think I'm playing well, and I'm like, yeah, fuck this. Why am I sitting? And then you sit there and you pout, and you're like, yeah, and even maybe there's a part in your brain that's saying, I hope these fucking guys lose because I'm not out there, right? It's a very selfish mentality, right?
Yeah.
But I can't say that hasn't crossed my mind ever in my career. Of course I want my team to win, but there's a egotistical part of being an athlete being a competitor, that you want to be out there and doing it. So, I'm not saying I feel that way now. I'm just saying that I have had those thoughts in the past. So, sure.
You know what else?
I'm glad we got third, because you and me weren't playing.
Yeah. Yeah. I like, if we went 0-4 not playing, I would have maybe preferred that, but third, I guess, is okay.
Yeah, I think Dalton's okay. I see how serious is his injury. I think he pulled his hamstring. He doesn't usually stretch. He's in the dum-dums, so, I feel like he just kind of goes out there and wings it, and the chances he gets injured a lot, so that's just the way it is.
Yeah. One other thing just before we leave that conversation is Marcelo and I were talking about, one, how well Archie played, has been playing this year, like hit a new level. And then we started like going back and thinking about, so out of those top four teams, first through fourth, so you had J-Rab that was playing that position as well, on the snake side as a 2, but needing to be a 1. So you had J-Rab, Archie, Malloy playing out there, and then you had Chad George. And then if you look at the other side, there was a little more leeway to get to that first Dorito, but you have Fedorov, Mouse, yourself, Mikey, and then I think it was maybe.
I think he had Ronnie Diaz. Oh no, Fedorov. They had Fedorov.
Yeah, Fedorov was there.
And then the Russian had I forget who they have, Karslev or somebody.
Yeah, Karslev, or maybe switching out with someone. So like, you're talking about arguably, 5 to 6 of some of the best 2s in the world playing those spots in a field where it pulled in so much that going out was so risky that and if you on Sunday you get 5-on-4 off the break, like that team with the 5 is most likely winning. And also
and the water slows everything down. Like
for sure.
The water makes the field muddy, which makes it harder to run. So I feel like shooting off the break becomes easier in the rain, even though you might think it's the opposite. But I truly think it becomes harder to make spots in the rain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was and I was, thinking about that. A lot of those 5-on-5s that we were playing against the Russians, I thought that they outplayed us a few of those points with mainly just Sergey, because everyone got to positions where, 4 guys were canceling out 4 guys. And I think just some of those points, they got a little bit of an edge on us because Sergey went into a position where he trusted that his 4 guys were going to be able to hold our 5. And then he started being able to probe and look for kills when by them, if you guys go back and watch the match, you'll see Sergey left the back center, went into that Dorito side middle, then he came into that wing, and the Russians funneled a second guy up into that tower to take over holding that snake side, and then I would allow Sergey to start probing, it brought the guns a little bit higher and more focused in on the middle, and then they started to get their guys out on the sides, which in my opinion, I think there was some of those points that's kind of, they just made the move first, and they looked for that opportunity first, and it kind of stung us.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we did. So we lost 4 points, right? I'm not going to count that one bit with the Ryan and that whole situation, right? So the end score was 5-3, but it probably should have been, like, say we just cancel out that last thing, say it's 4-3, because we lost four legitimate points.
Sure.
So I think that 2 of them we got penalties.
Yeah.
And then you're right. I think the difference maker was that spot, was that kind of first guy who was going to go up the middle and either kind of wrap and look to probe to cause distractions and damage, or to plant himself down, try to be a trap for one of our movers, right? So the game wasn't won on the outsides. It was won in the middle, like you're saying. Yes, moves were made on the outsides, but usually that was after the thing in the middle, whatever it was going to be, happened.
Yes, for sure.
And just going to the tournament, looking at a lot of the games, we were most successful when Ryan and Blake and Yosh were able to, like, go up in that center and get penetration and just say, okay, live with the guy being able to move on the outside, because, we really never got beat with the guy coming down around the corners on us. It usually happened up the middle, or us making mistakes trying to push around the corners. Dude, look at Ryan Greenspan's in here.
I like that. Kevin said show is so much cooler without that Greenspan dude. Alex and I talked on the phone before, and I was like, I kind of like some of these shows because then we just get to go deep in the concepts and the strategy and whatnot. Not that we don't, and not that Ryan doesn't, but
he's lurking.
He said he was like, I might be able to pop in, but it's gonna be 2 a.m., so probably not.
Well, he's up. He's jet lagged.
Oh yeah.
Dude, look at this thing. Have you guys ever eaten on the Spick and Span show? Look at this monstrosity.
Wow.
Can anyone guess what this is?
A tiki masala empanada?
No, but I did have tikka masala last night.
What would our show...
All right, first person to guess what that is that I'm eating, get the headband.
You heard him. What would our show be called if it was just us?
Naan. Nope, not naan.
Empanada.
Elephant ear. No, what's that?
Crunchwrap.
Crunchwrap Supreme. Turkey leg.
Jack in the Box taco.
No one's gonna guess it.
Baklava.
No.
Papusa. Puff pastry.
Cheese quesadilla. There is cheese on it. There's cheese on it. Dude, Tigerware merch is fire. Do you guys still have these, or are they sold out?
Yeah, there's still some on there.
Go
Got
get
some
it.
hats.
I mean, this is a nice sweatshirt. I'm going to be rocking this all winter. Actually, I put it on yesterday, and I was going to wear it around the shop, and then I was like, you know what? I'm going to keep this nice.
Yeah. You feel like protected in there. It's
yeah, and I
weight.
feel like Margaret will, like, approve of this shirt. Like,
yeah.
Usually when I bring paintball, like, graphics tees home, she's like, no, not coming in the house.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Did you like on the hood too, that little label? It shows.
Yeah, there's a cool
upright.
detail on the hood here. It's got the Tigerware logo, but it's upside down, so you can see it when your hood is not on.
Yeah. So I just was down actually.
Toaster strudel. Nope.
All morning at a newer manufacturer that we might be using for some stuff in San Diego, which is pretty cool. Seeing, kind of the back end and stuff that they make already. So I think we'll have a bunch of cool new options of stuff to make, which is nice.
Okay, I'll give you guys a clue.
Penovini.
Okay, there it is.
Khachapuri.
There it is. Look at that cheese hanging off of there. Oh my god. It's crunchy. It's round. It's fried. And it's a fruit.
You seeing some of these Rocas? Panzerotti?
I mean, I don't know what some of these foods are in here. Oh, well, yeah. There it is.
Who got it?
Well,
Is it close? Someone got close?
somebody. Yeah, okay. We'll give it to Vegas Venom. Well, no. What's Planta? Is that plantain? Edward Hortbelt said plantain. That's what it is, but it has cheese on it.
Placenta?
All right, I'm giving it to. Let's see here, Vegas Venom. All right, Vegas Venom. We got it.
Plantain?
It's plantain, yeah.
Oh, fried plantain. All right. Vegas Venom. Congrats. Alex, what size did you get in that hoodie? Medium?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the same size I was, and so it's kind of like an oversized medium. If you wear large, you could probably fit a medium too. If you want it to be a little bit more roomy, you could go large. But both Alex and I wear medium, and we're like 6'3", 6'4", height wise.
So yeah, I'm gonna rely on you to tell me who Vegas Venom is and send me his address.
Okay.
Or her address.
Yeah. Vegas,
So,
you can message me. I think we should have your address in here. If not, you can always message Alex.
So for people who are asking about gloves and Hormy pants, Field 1 Hormy pants, we're gonna I think maybe put those up this weekend. I'm not sure. I'm just trying to get it together over here, but they are cool, and we're gonna get those out to you guys to try out and see what you think. So yeah, thank you guys.
What else? Oh, so no All-Star game. It was just a little bit too. The conditions were the big reason for that, and with the rain comes a lot of equipment issues, and I think a big thing for some of the players, especially going into the finals, which obviously they might play a couple points besides Alex, who was going to go 110%. Didn't want to have to deal with their equipment getting any more exposure to those harsh conditions, and then having to go into the finals with any chance of water in the loaders or in the guns, whatnot.
Yeah, and you want the All-Star game to be a spectacle, right?
Yeah,
you want the crowd to be, the bleachers to be packed, and people to be cheering, and everyone to be having fun. Not everyone soggy and miserable. So I think they're going to move it out to World Cup and make it a thing there. So I think that's a good decision.
A great decision, yeah.
Spice it up over there. And people who are asking about sizes there, I'd say the gloves run a little bit small, but the pants are pretty true to size. So, yeah, thank you, Sandy Toes Kyle. See you in there with the info because he's been testing out the gloves for me. And yeah, so that, and yeah, so hopefully the All-Star game will be a blast, and it'll be, a little more sunny, and I think they'll do it earlier on in the tournament. And also, the top 4 teams, us, Impact, Heat, and the European team, whatever that one is coming out of Europe, we won't be playing. We'll be playing an exhibition round, but our tournament really doesn't start until, I don't know when they're going to do it, Saturday or Sunday. But I think the All-Star game will probably be Thursday, which gives us a lot of time to rest and recover from playing the All-Star game. So I feel like it's a good call, and it should be a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I agree. I think that was just a good idea. Because also, too, I mean, you might have had some of the guys that were coming, didn't make it out of the prelims, or, got knocked out early. They were ready to get out of the field because it was such a mess. So
for sure. I mean, I slipped and tweaked my back, and I wasn't good to go. So I wouldn't have been in the game. How
exactly did it happen?
So I've had a back spasm like that before. So I was okay, and then I slid out from that big Dorito it was in the overtime point against LVL, and it was G3, and I just dove out to that little Dorito, and I was sliding and I just twisted the wrong way, like as I was sliding, because I wasn't in a full like in a full belly dive. I was kind of like in like a baseball slide type of deal.
Yeah.
And I just felt my whole back like tighten up, and it just, you know, I still can feel it now, especially like I rode my. I took the bike to school this morning with my daughter on the back seat, and I was like, I got home and I was like, ugh. But it's just like one of those ones where it's not an injury. It's just like.
What grade are you in?
What grade of pain?
No, you said you took your bike to school today.
Oh, she's in kindergarten. Yeah, no, I'm in first grade. She's in kindergarten.
Okay, so you guys just bike pool.
Yeah, bike pool.
Yeah, I had that. I used to get that a lot. You know, it's interesting. I had bad lower back pain for like 5 years. I think it started kind of when I first got on Dynasty, and then went for, you know, all the way up through till like right when I got back on Ironman again, till I found out like a good warm up to do. But I think that, you know, like obviously I'm not a doctor here, but that's like a pinched nerve you probably got, and then it spasm, and it just kind of like sends shocks through all your muscles in your back.
Yeah, that's correct. Like once it starts spasming, it's hard to stop it. And then, you know, I've got to stretch it out properly, and I have some good stretches, and probably go see the chiropractor, because last time I did, he whacked me a couple times, and I was feeling so much better. So
that's instantly also whenever that does happen to me, because sometimes I'll be in the gym if I didn't warm up, whether I'm doing like squats or some leg exercise where I'm putting weight on my shoulders, I'll feel it like almost like pinch, and then slowly my whole back starts to get like really tight, almost even like where it's so tight it's like difficult to breathe. And I found that like if you go instantly to like a sports therapist, chiropractor, and he's able to like kind of set you back correctly faster, then that recovery time goes down by like 65-75%, or the amount of time.
Yeah, and I think that's a really common sports injury.
Sure.
The first time I did it, I was my cousin. He, God bless him, he was prepping for Doomsday, and he had all these bags of rice and flour and sugar and stuff under the house where he was living at the time, which my mom also was staying there. So I went under the house to get something, and rats had gotten into all this stuff, and there was literally the whole entire basement was coated in flour. These rats had a party down there.
Oh my
and it was
God.
a complete disaster. And obviously I was the one that was going to have to clean it up. And I lifted these huge bags, and it was like this crawl space. So I couldn't like carry the sacks normally.
Yeah.
So I had to like carry them through this little tiny door. And dude, I was so messed up. And I never had back problems until that. And now, you know, and I was thinking about it after, and I was like, what's more likely, Doomsday happening and the supplies saving you, or Doomsday not happening, the rats eating the supplies and giving you some type of rat-borne illness? So oof. I think the latter is more likely. So that's a shout out to all you Doomsday preppers out there.
So, what else about the tournament? Anything you thought was interesting, or any other highlights?
I had a good time. I mean, it's annoying to have afternoon bracket, but fine. I just feel like you spend less time at the tournament, and it's like, you know, a little less fun, but all good, man. I mean, it was a paintball tournament. I was happy to be there with the guys. We had a bunch of laughs and, you know, good times at the hotel, and of course got to play paintball. And considering, you know, our course of events through the tournament, I'm pretty stoked with third place. You know, we were on the edge of not making it into Sunday. Losing to Diesel, we lose to Diesel and Ironman. We would have had to probably beat Revo 7-0 to make it on, because only one team made it on at 2-2, and that was Heat. So yeah, I mean, definitely a grinder of a weekend, and you know, don't take any of these teams for granted. It's definitely, I feel like it's this year more than any other. We've seen some of these mid-level teams and low-level teams really pushing in to the top tier. So, maybe it is a sign of a changing of the guard, especially with some of the elite players getting a little bit older. But you can bet that Bart and Randy are going to do their best to stop that, whether it's picking the other teams apart or whatnot. But
sure. I was actually going to pull up these season rankings because there was some other cool stories, like NYX had a pretty good performance.
Yeah, no, I'm stoked for those guys too, because I feel like they're a better team than their results are showing. Let's see here. We got...
Might be able to pull it up here.
I've got it here. Dynasty.
I can show it on
first,
the...
723. Impact was 680. Houston Heat 660. And so this next tournament, it's double points. So I think we can't place lower than one place below Impact, or I think maybe we can place 2 places below Heat, but we can't place more than 1 place below Impact. So I think if Impact wins and we get third, then Impact wins the series. So we need to, it's up for grabs basically. But down there at the bottom, you've got DMG in 20th, and apparently, so I haven't done the math, but I think if they place 4 or 5 places above the Saints, then Saints are out and DMG's in. So, you could assume Saints are going to get last place, and that means DMG has to win, 1 or 2 matches to be able to hold on to that spot.
Here, I think I can pull it up here too, so everyone at home can see it. Let me see if I remember how to do this correctly. Where was it? There we go. So, so we're looking at that, that race to avoid relegation here. NYX finishing 9th, and Saints finishing 20th.
Yeah, so NYX is safe. They have 269. So I don't know, maybe they're not. Yeah, maybe they're not safe. If they place 20th, all they have to do is place ahead of the Saints.
Yeah. So the story, it's kind of going to be, it'll be interesting. We already have.
It would have been the Iron Man, but they picked up a 186 at the Golden State Open. It's with a second place. So, they still only have 274, but they're barely out of trouble.
Sure. Yeah. Yep.
And they're coming up. The Iron Man, I feel like, they're starting to figure it out. They have a good group of guys, and I saw Shane Pastana out there, Billy Wing. They've got some experience and some will. It seems like to improve. So Nick could probably attest to that, and he's certainly the leader of that team, and definitely showed it when they played us last couple of times. I feel like we played them 3 times in the past 2 tournaments, and every game has been a battle.
Yeah. It definitely, I think, it's helping. I think I talked to Nikki, coach of the Ironman, and she was saying the biggest thing that, and Fran as well was saying this, that there's no egos on that team. Which you find commonly with younger players, they have an opportunity.
Well, they're sponsored by Dye.
I see what you did there.
Paintball joke.
Yeah. Ego. So they're willing to do whatever it takes, to win, and they're like, hey, I want you to run over here to this bunker that you most likely will get shot off the break, but let's just try it. And so there's not a lot of people fighting back, and there's kind of like that old saying that a game plan that everyone buys in on versus a game plan that you have guys on the team that are separated about how it should be executed is better than the better game plan, where people have split decisions on it, So, and it's being shown by them. In my opinion, I mean, I guess we'll see how it shakes out. And I mean, do we have what the brackets are for the next event already?
No, they're not gonna know because.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
It's some weird thing where the bottom 16 teams play into the top 4 teams. So
that's
basically,
right.
we already have a bye into the top 8.
Yeah, I guess we'll see how, who the Saints and some of those bottom teams, who they draw, but and no, I don't mean any disrespect. I just don't really see the Saints winning any more games this year, unfortunately.
That sounds disrespectful to me.
Yeah, I mean, it is a little bit. I was talking to Greg. I did go coach those guys with Brandon Short before Sacramento and went out and helped them out a little bit. And Greg came up to me after this event, and he's like, yeah, I don't know, where things went wrong this tournament. I got to go back and look and see, what was the problem. And, I kind of...
I think the problem started when Mouse, you, J-Rab, who else was over there? Corey Hall, Celos, and when those guys... And A-Rod. When those guys left the team, I feel like that's when the problem started.
Yeah,
and the one guy that's on Russian Legion.
Yeah, Diego.
So, yeah, so...
But, you would kind of... And I think you could agree in this situation, if you are dealt that hand of now you have guys that were not even really playing semi-pro or even D2 paintball playing in the pro division, you're most likely, if you try to stand toe-to-toe and do the breakouts that everyone else is doing, it doesn't matter. You 9 times out of 10, you're going to lose. So you have to do stuff that's completely unorthodox. And the Wild Dogs were a great example of that when they came in for that one World Cup, and they were just relentless, all-out attack every point, no matter what, running to crazy spots, and they didn't change from that. That was their meta, and
you're better off. You're better off doing that when you're not going to beat Impact or Heat playing a straight up game where you've got 2 guys running to the insert spots and playing the safe and back center, and hopefully you're going to win on firefights and decision making. I don't think so when you're dealing with guys like Tyler Harmon and Archie and elite level players that just J-Rab that just don't they can just dismantle you.
Yeah, there's absolutely no chance, unfortunately, to you might be able to squeak out a game or 2 here over a couple events, but it's pretty impossible feat, in my opinion, to play that toe-to-toe game. So yeah, that'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
And I will say, I feel like in the rain, I love those JT goggles. I play with a lot of different goggles, and typically they will fog in the rain, but those pro flexes, they're tried and true, and just the air is allowed to circulate in there, and it could see, which is a huge a difference maker. So props to JT and our equipment. Paint shot great. That's a big part of success in the rain, and I feel like the rainiest game was that level game, and we came out on top. So props to JT and GI Sports and all our sponsors supporting us there.
Do you know what they're gonna do about Russian Legion not playing those minors? I'm looking at the standings right now, and they're in 10, so I guess it's not really that big of a deal because they don't get one of those guaranteed.
I mean, they're not in the hunt for first place, and they're not going to get relegated. So I don't know. I mean, who's it going to affect? One of these teams in the middle that they may place ahead of, right? Does Seattle Thunder care that they're tied for? Oh, look, they're tied for 10th. Weird. What's going on here? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, they're in 11th. Sorry, whoever made this made a typo. So Russian Legion's in 10th. Thunder's in 11th. So is Thunder going to be like, yeah, they didn't follow the rules. You had to play at least one minor. So should Russian Legion then get relegated? I don't think so. I mean, there's circumstances there that are understandable.
Sure. X Factor had a better showing. You know, having a couple guys come back, it was good to see.
Yeah, and they did beat Impact.
Yeah.
It's hard to beat the same team twice in a row, though.
That is definitely a difficult thing to do.
Yeah, I talked to Mouse before that game, and he's like, "Yep, never gonna get you twice."
Yeah,
like, he was really confident going into that one.
Yeah. Oh, how about that? I know. I think you saw it. That Bart speech. That was pretty cool. I thought that was.
Yeah, he knows, man. Got props to Bart. I mean, he was dropping the truth. I don't know who posted that, but I saw it pop up on Instagram, and you know, words of wisdom, angry words of wisdom.
Yeah.
But true.
We could let me see here. Am I allowed to show it? I think I could show it, right?
I don't see why not.
Ryan's not here. You could show everything.
You can do whatever you want. Yeah.
So Christian Riviera posted it. But it's awesome. I thought it's like a pretty.
Listen, the gloves did not drop yet, guys. The pants and gloves did not drop yet. I did not.
I've seen so many.
I said I would try to put them up this weekend. I want to make sure that it's right. So.
I see gloves. I've seen gloves. Probably that's like the most common word written in the chat today. But this Bart speech is great because it's not. There's nothing like really intricate to it. It's just like about like wanting in.
They're dropping on D's. Sorry.
Let me see if I can.
I don't know what point in the tournament that was, but I'm guessing it was after they lost to X.
It was, yeah, for sure. I talked to Mouse about that, and he said it. So I'll just hold my phone up here so we can see it.
Fucking beat it under your fucking heads. Get it fucking right. It's fucking discipline, fucking solid ball with 5 guys. We're gonna lose, guys. But you got fucking greedy. That's all that happened. Quit getting fucking greedy. You wanna win? Fucking play together. Quit it. Stop it right fucking now, please. It fucking eats us. Every one of you. You know it. Stop it. Fuck. Greed, it kills you. You don't have to win the gunfights. Who's the fucking hero now? Tell me, who's the hero? 9 minutes. Not one of you. Because you lost it. 50-50 chance. You know the fucking percentages. Come on. Back off. He earned it. Give it to him. Let him win that one. But you ain't fucking dying. I'm not fucking dying. It's a simple game. Right? We all lost it. Let's learn from this. Learn hard. We're gonna fall. And we all fucking fell together. So fuck, we get this fucking thing tomorrow. All right? This is no fucking more, guys. No more reaching. Reaching was the name back then. And we never reached. But we fucking won every fucking game. No more fucking reaching. Please. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Bam. Fucking beat it under your fucking head.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone would have been able to give that speech to our team because someone would have been like, I think I'm the hero. Yeah. There would have been about 30 interjections of snide remarks before he got to the end of it. But yeah, props to Bart. I mean, he's not wrong.
Yeah. And it's cool when you see those, like, I forgot who we showed. Meter had a speech from X Factor like earlier this year that was pretty powerful like that, and it's cool when you see guys like genuinely like talking straight from their heart and it just flows, and it's like, you know, there's times like that when it really like resonates with people and makes a huge change. Like that speech Oliver gave in that 2015 World Cup was incredibly powerful. you weren't there at that Philly tournament, but Archie gave and it wasn't on camera, but he gave a speech to us the night before Sunday, and was like another one of those speeches, like when it comes from some guy's heart, and and like you just see everybody, it instills in them, and they go out and you win a tournament. It's awesome.
No, you're right. I mean, you can tell when someone means it.
Yeah. Mafia said your speech, a cup last year too.
Yep, I was definitely feeling that one in the moment. And there's a difference. You know when you believe what you're saying,
Yeah.
and when it's just lip service.
Mm-hmm. So,
Yep.
What else?
I don't know, man. Just proud of you and proud of the team, and excited to get back out there and do it again.
Yeah. I mean, and Archie said it best too. Like, it's good to get some humble pie going into before World Cup. Show you that there's never not enough hard work to be done. You got to stay humble and stay on the grind, and there's always somebody ready to take your spot, especially when you're at the top.
Yep, everyone's shooting for you. All right, well, do you want to give away some stuff? Do you have the wheel? Do you know how to do that?
I don't have the wheel. Ryan was supposed to send me something. Let's see if he managed to do that. I was looking and I didn't see it come in, but he was supposed to send me an updated.
These guys with the gloves. Here.
You giving away some gloves on the show?
The problem with that is there's sizes, so then you have to be like, oh, what size do you want? And it's a whole thing.
Let me try to see here, man. I don't even know where. We might just have to do some trivia here.
You got a good trivia question?
I gotta think here.
How about C? You have CD on your fantasy team?
CD who?
It is nuts.
Memento Mayan said, "Is there a band dropping this week, Alex?"
Yes, there is. There will be a band dropping this week.
There is a band dropping this week.
Got every week. Don't worry.
Someone said, "Here's a question: Is there ever a point where the team thought, let's put our second line in because this isn't working?"
I would say yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
or when we were, had a 3 to 4 point lead with 2.5, 3 minutes left against some of these teams, like maybe put in some fresh legs.
But I think he's saying, like, if it's not working, say we got our, like, the Ironman game is a good example. Like, we did play our guys that game.
Mm-hmm.
Because the day before we lost to AC Diesel, and I think a lot of the guys attributed that to, we didn't get my reps, or, we got, you're only getting a few reps, and, a bunch of different guys only made one mistake, and that's the deal. But I don't necessarily think that was the situation. So next, adjusted and said, okay, we're going with Archie, Ryan, Dalt, Marcelo, and rotating Blake and Yosh. Those are the guys. Those are the guys that played in that Ironman game. And Dalton got hurt, I think, the last point, and then Mikey went in. So that worked. I mean, saw that game went down. But if you look at it, he stuck with the guys, and they ended up coming back.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. On Damien, Alex, Kyle, whoever else, with the starters, if you will, and
We're kind of cutting out there for a second.
Sorry. Anyway, what I said probably wasn't very important.
I did play for a team called Authority. That's right. Way back in the day. I'll give a
I I got headbands to give away. So if you wanna find a way to do that.
Okay. Yeah. I have a good question. I don't know if anybody's would get this. But what was the first competitive paintball team that I ever played on? Let's see if you I
think I know.
I mean, it's not the obvious one.
Wasn't it D's?
No, it was similar. Rhymes with ligma. No, it doesn't.
It's not Gridlock?
Nope. And someone had an earlier team than that. TC
Alley
Cool
Cats?
Guys was
I thought it was
close.
Gridlock.
No one's gonna be able
Enigma.
get it, I think. No,
Vipers.
earlier. Gridlock was before Vipers.
It was the Hershey Squirts. He's right.
Stigma.
It rhymes with stigma.
Yeah. No, someone saying stigma.
Dude. All right. Forget this question, dude. Just give it to someone who makes the funniest thing. Alex's mom. That's right. You got it, Rob Mata. He played on Alex's mom.
I'm gonna go. Aaron Keane was pretty close. He said TC Cool Guys because that was like the next team I played for. But it was a team called Sideshow, which I don't think anybody.
That's a good name.
Was gonna.
I heard a great name for a team called the Leftovers.
The Leftovers. I like that.
Yeah.
Aaron Keane you'll get it.
Well, thanks, Carlos. Alex's nose.
Aaron, send me your info on Instagram. I'll get you a beanie in the mail.
Dude, Chris O is going to give away a Gambler Band. And he's giving out memberships on here. He's the man, dude.
All right, Chris O, how do you want to give it away? You want to do
Give it away now.
You want to do trivia here?
Oh, thanks, Rob. I love you guys. Smash that like button. Or smash the dislike button. The dick. Whoops.
The dick like.
Oh, man. Sorry, Ryan. We ruined the show.
Who do you think? Who would you have given the MVP to on our team if we would have went all the way?
Archie, he had to.
Yeah.
Dude, he just floating around on a cloud out there.
Yeah. He didn't even come to the practice the weekend before.
I mean, he just is seeing he's just got the vision, man.
Yeah, he's incredible right now. It's a good question. What do you think was challenging about the layout? It seemed like everyone was worried about the center, but the snake was aggro.
Yeah, I mean, it was the center. I mean, even if you got in the snake early, a good team that wasn't in there would just know how to adjust. If you didn't get in there and do a bunch of damage and catch him off guard, I mean, we were in a situation like that a bunch of times where the other team was in the snake against Revo, and we, we realized he was there, didn't let him kill us, and then adjusted and ended up winning the point. But I think the good teams realized that in the end, and they said the value isn't actually in getting in the snake; it's in capitalizing on the other team's mistakes. So, yeah, I think that's what this field is about. And I think, Kyle, you had it pinned. It was up through that, the center, either one of those sides. I mean, the Russians came up with 3 guys through the Doritos side of the center a couple points. They weren't even trying. They weren't even thinking about getting outside. They didn't even want to. So, it's a smart strategy. And you can see, like, all right, this is the type of game planning that these teams come with, right? They set you up by running all tournament, and then you have this scouting report, and then they do something completely different when you play. Yeah, I'd say Bruiser Boyum was the MVP of Chicago. I'll give you that. It's flat.
Oh yeah, I was gonna show this barrel that Philip did for me from Outlaw Anodizing. can pull this up here. Let me.
Oh yeah, that barrel came out sick. He made a couple harmy ones too. I saw there. He didn't give me one though.
Let's see how we go. Boom. Yeah, pretty rad design with this Tigerware logo wrapped around. So thank you.
Is that the Jedi Island that Luke Skywalker was training on?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Ryan has it there. He's probably dreaming about it. Did Chris put in the chat how he wanted to give away that headband? I might have missed that.
Here's what we'll do. When Ryan comes back, we'll do double giveaways next week.
Okay. You know, going back though to what you said about the field, although I think you're right, I think that if you were able to get into the snake when everyone was playing that pocket versus pocket, I do think there was a pretty strong chance that you were winning that point in those later matches.
Yes,
for sure.
Obviously, who's your favorite Pokemon?
Mine.
Charmander.
Oh, it's Mewtwo. I like the little alien guy.
The only one I know is Charmander.
Dude, I got quite a collection right over here, actually.
Oh, and Squirtle. Remember Pokemon Go?
Look at all these. I'll show you.
Excuse me, Squirtle's in your living room. You mind if I come in and pick him up real quick?
Mal said something pretty funny. We were hanging out with them in the lobby after everyone left on Sunday, and Mal said, he's like, J-Rad looks like the kind of guy that's playing Pokemon Go outside of the restaurant when he's going on a date, waiting for her to show up. Comes out of the bushes.
Hang on a minute, I'm grabbing Charmander.
Dude, look at these I got. I got all the good ones.
Oh, Johnny Wynn. Yes, Dum Dum episode was awesome. If you haven't checked out the Dum Dum episode on their YouTube channel, Dum Dum Paintball, go check it out. It came out pretty good.
You see You see these, Alex?
God, look at that, dude.
Yeah, look at all those.
Doghouse Studios. That's where it's at.
Yeah. I got a bunch of Charmanders here, actually, Alex. I can give you one.
Do you have that $7 million one that guy wears around his neck?
No, I got one kind of close, but that one that you wanted to see. It's not the holographic good ones.
Sell them shits.
Yeah, you gotta like send them in. What is it? PSA, I think. Yeah, someone sent it in here, but it's really expensive. And then if they just
PSA, 10 Charizard is worth $10,000 plus. What? Most memorable moment of my professional career? Probably at this last tournament when I let Ryan get bunkered. We won the point, but I was secretly laughing. No, most memorable moment? I don't know. Probably Spider Cup. Oh, I wasn't professional yet. It's during Spider Cup. Most memorable moment of my professional career? Probably when Oliver quit the team.
Oh, wait, Chris O sent a question. Oh, did you send it to me? Let's see.
Yeah, my most memorable moment was a negative one, unfortunately. One time we were beating the Russian Legion in the finals, and I was in the corner, and there was like 2 seconds left, and I like made a move out of the corner and got blasted, and then J-Rab hung the flag with like 2 seconds left, and we ended up losing in overtime. That was pretty memorable. that mistake.
All right, so Chris O said, how many total Hormesis bands did I wear in USFL games, and how many games? That's a pretty extensive question there.
5 bands, 8 games. 3 bands, 8 games. 2 bands, 8 games. Okay, so it sounds like there was definitely 8 games. 4 games. 7 games. 2 bands.
Okay, he sent me the answer here. So I got the answer.
Is it 2 bands, 6 games? No. 3 bands, 8 games.
Well, I'm not going to say it.
I'm reading it off. I'm reading guesses that have already been guessed. By the way, those bands came out tight, and people are liking them. So it's a nice prize here. I actually kept one for myself.
Uh-oh. Someone's going to get you in trouble. They said, thanks for the gloves. Oh, I think someone got it. Wow. Unless
What was it?
Vegas Venom again.
Dude, what?
Wow.
Coming up, man. Oh, that reminds me. I'm going to have another bite of my Tostones over here.
4 bands in 10 games. Dude, Vegas Venom doubling down today. You need to go play the lottery.
Dude, Vegas Venom.
Wow.
Milk when it's dry.
Wow, yep. So I'll get that, Chris, I'll get that information over to you. Or Vegas Venom, you could also DM Chris.
No, just forget about it. I have an extra one, Chris, here. I'll send it to him. Because I already have to send him a band. So I got you covered.
There you go. I mean, Chris could hit the runner-up. I think it was Dominic Lakita.
No, Yoj actually does all the work at Field 1. Says, Alex seems like he does all the work at Field 1. I actually do nothing at Field 1 now.
Alex just waits for Tuesdays.
I just sit here patiently waiting for Tuesdays, trying on gloves and pants, and eating cheesy plantains. That thing is a disaster. I don't know why I'm still eating it.
Here's a good question. How much should I be fined for being 19 minutes late to start the show, or should Ryan be fined? And if so, how much?
Ryan should be fined double prizes, and he has to eat one of those chips, the spicy chips.
Yes, yeah, I agree. It's funny because
some guy wanted me to do that. Oh yeah, you guys, you missed the gloves. Sorry.
Yeah, the gloves are all gone.
Gloves are gone. Oh, the pants are gone too. Oh, by the way, with the pants, there's a Hormesis version and a Field 1 version. They're the same pants. They just have different graphics on them. So, they're pretty dope. Not as good as JT pants, of course, but, you know.
No, guys, the gloves haven't been released yet. So, is there a name for the pants yet?
I don't know what the Field 1 pants are going to be called, but Hormesis one are called Chameleon because of we have this kind of iridescent.
Oh, look at that.
They kind of have a little sheen to them, like where the light hits them just right. They have a rainbow kind of pattern.
Besides paintball, what else could you use those gloves for, you think?
Probably gardening. I don't know, actually. They have holes in them, so dirt would probably get in. I don't know. What do you use gloves for? Maybe picking your nose?
Hammering stuff?
Hammering. If you ran out of toilet paper, you might be able to put one of these on.
Oh, if you can't get a pickle jar open or like a bottle cap?
Yes, that would be good. A jar opening glove.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely nothing, not there would be no use to actually keep your hands warm. I don't think they would be very warm in the snow.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if you had to slap Ryan, that would be good so you didn't hurt your hand.
With the glove on or just like without just holding the edge of the glove?
Either way, yeah. Like, I challenge you to a duel, and then some laughing across the face. Yeah.
Shucking oysters?
No, I would not rely on these for shucking oysters. Maybe driving.
Driving, okay. Flash dancing?
Yeah, flash dancing would be good. You could probably wear these, Yeah, if you were a stripper, just no clothes, these will help you grip the pole. Golf, you know,
maybe, right?
I think they might be a little bulky for golf, but yeah, you know, they are thin for like paintball gloves. I like that kind of lightweight feeling, and they don't have a strap, which is good and bad. It's good because the strap can't fail. It always annoyed me, that strap getting in the way of your pads and stuff, and it was just extra bulky, and usually the Velcro would fail on it and then there'd just be a thing dangling off. But these ones don't have that, but there's a downside because it's kind of hard to get them on. So yeah, but I figure once you put them on, you're not like taking your gloves on and off all day, so I like them.
This is a good question, and maybe we can, two things. One, I'm going to answer this question. Alex and I can answer it. And two, I'm Misadventures with Kyle. You're going to win a prize too, because you have been firing off constantly good questions this whole show. So we'll get you set up with something. Find you something here. Get you a nice prize. So send me over your information on Instagram. He said, has there ever been a point where paintball stopped being fun for you?
For me?
Yeah, he said it to me, but I think could be a good, question for both of us. And it's funny because, Mikey, this weekend on our team, we always do a random room draw so that we're constantly, not rooming with the same guys and getting to know everyone on the team for like just cohesion and learning more about each person on the team. And Mikey asked me, he's like, why have you played paintball for so long? Like, what do you love about paintball? And I said, for me, I think it's cool to be just at the highest level of competition in something, regardless of if it wasn't paintball, I'd probably find something else to get that enrichment from. But I really think paintball is awesome because it's so unique in that you can never be perfect. Like, there's always going to be some variables. You're always going to get shot here and there. There's no, like, you can't go a year without getting shot and win everything. I mean, Archie's had a pretty good year, but like it, and another thing, and I think we talked about this on the show a couple weeks ago, is it's really meditative once you get, there's different stages of that like ultimate like meditation that you get. You go to a practice, you probably you're looking at your phone less, you're enjoying the time around the other guys, and you're not thinking of outside problems or your own stuff that you have to deal with. And then it's heightened once you're in an actual point, and then even more so at a tournament. I asked you this question the other weekend. I think it was up in Sacramento, and I was like, have you ever been in a point and you thought about like something that's like going on in your life while you're physically like in the middle of a point? There's not really that's completely absent. Like, you're in the most present situation that you can, you could possibly be in. And I think that's, it's very addicting to get that feeling of, which I think is really hard to replicate, in many ways, even, and I'm sure I forgot who I was talking about it with this weekend, like why guys might play like, pick up softball on the weekends or like co-ed leagues or just in the community, because you get that hyper focus in the present.
I did that day after you asked me that, dive into the snake and start thinking about if Rhaenyra was going to be able to sit on the Iron Throne. No, you're right, dude. I mean, for me, yeah. I mean, paintball's sort of my identity. I've been doing it for so long. All my best friends and I mean, I consider a lot of you guys like family. I found through paintball and just being around everybody is what's fun for me. And of course, playing the game itself is still fun for me. So, yeah, I mean, the game is almost like a form of meditation or therapy, right? You're completely locked in the present, and if you get distracted, you're going to get shot. So, I feel like those are the things that I cherish the most out of playing, and are fun for me. And that's, being in the game and playing and yelling and shooting and trying to figure out how to shoot the guy and not get shot. And also being around your brothers and sisters out there and enjoying the time together.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, it's, it's tough when you're like, all right, gotta go back home to real life after, you're in that.
And that includes Ryan too.
Well, he brings like a little bit of real life back in, so he like reminds you that there's still real life, so it preps you for leaving the tournament.
Yeah,
being around Ryan.
Yeah, for sure.
I think you were in the car when I was trying to get my gear bag in there, and then he started talking shit, and I was like, he's like, your bag can go here, hurry up, figure it out. And I was like, fuck you, Ryan, I'm not even going in the car anymore. I'm going to the other car, or I'll Uber to the field.
Dude, some of the conversations we have, bro, oh my god.
Right?
Oh boy.
Yeah, we have some great time passing conversations, especially in the hotel room when there's nothing to do. Did you go ahead?
I was just gonna say there's comments about being mic'd up in here. So yeah, well, hopefully we can make some more fun mic'd up content. I'm a content creator.
Mm-hmm.
Love content.
I forgot I was gonna ask you something.
Making memories. That's right. Favorite gun from back in the day? Yeah, LCD Angel. LCD Angel was my go-to. That thing was amazing. I feel like the guns I bought myself had more meaning than, guns that I got from sponsors. I had a silver one, silver LCD Angel with a black grip frame. That shit was dope.
Was there a point where you knew that you were gonna, you realized paintball was something you were gonna pursue professionally?
No, there wasn't. That kind of just happened because when I started playing paintball, I didn't think paintball was a professional thing. And then I realized there was competitions, and we tried one of those and got last place. And then I met some guys out there, and the only reason I was ever into it is because of the people I was doing it with. Mm-hmm. And then, eventually we got good enough to where we could play against better players, and that just sort of happened naturally. It wasn't really a goal. Mm-hmm. I mean, when Oliver realized there was professional paintball, he was like, all right, that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
But for me, no, it wasn't like that.
It's funny. I had like a weird reason that paintball kept drawing me back, because I think when I started playing paintball, I was like 4'7" as a senior. It was really, really small. Not that I'm that much bigger now, like 5'5", 5'6", but I was incredibly small. I think when I started playing paintball, I was probably like 4'2", 4'3" at 14, 15 years old, and I was terrified. Like every time I played, I was extremely terrified. But for some reason, I wanted to keep going back to play, even though like before the game started, or like even during the day, I would play maybe like once or twice, and then I'd be like, I'm done. I don't want to play anymore. And I like wanted to conquer that fear in some weird way, even though everything was like telling me like, don't play this. Like, so I was terrified, and I like constantly wanted to like go back and conquer that. So that was, one thing for me. Besides that, I wasn't that good at school when I was younger.
It sounds like you had a chip on your shoulder, and you were trying to, prove to yourself that you could do it.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And I wasn't good at school, so I was like, I gotta try to find some other avenue. And then once I realized, I was like, okay, well, you just need to put some like time and effort, commitment, self-discipline to be great at something. Then I was like, all right, now I can go back and be good at school. So,
dude, you did it.
Yeah.
And you're good at school now.
Yeah. Look at that.
You beat it, dude.
Yeah.
You're the big winner. But you did meet Ryan along the way, so I'm sorry for that.
Yeah. So there is a little bit of...
There's two sides to every coin.
Sandbox Killer, we talked about that earlier. Ryan had a fat ball in his gun. And so right as he was about to shoot him, his gun stopped working. And it wasn't a penalty because it was kind of in a gray area of if he was calling himself out. It would have been funny if Ryan just started screaming, "Surrender! Surrender!" I thought he was saying that when I saw, like, Sergey put his gun up.
That's why you scream when you bunker guys.
Yeah. Or he's like, "Yeah, that's right. Get out, Sergey." And then, like, reverse psychology him behind it. Or if he, like, turned around and then he's like, "Come on." Or if Ryan's like, "Yeah, that's right. Get out." And he's, like, putting his thumb.
Well, c'est la vie. That's a bummer, that moment. We probably would have been in the finals if that didn't happen. But a lot of great things did happen, and we made it all the way up to third place, so I'm not mad about that, especially after losing to Diesel and, having a really tight one with Ironman. So looking back at the tournament, not upset. Ready for World Cup, though.
Yep. All right, well, good show. I always I like these shows. We get deep in the convo.
And send some good energy out to Ryan out there in Paris. Hopefully he has a fun time and doesn't get too fat on croissants. And we will see him next week.
Yeah, well, there's got what do we got? Like the U16 guys out there, the over 70 Masters Division with Ryan.
Oh, Damian Vasquez, what up, dog?
He was supposed to be here. Damian was.
There he is in the chat.
Yeah,
he made it.
He said he got called up to go to LA to be an actor for a Quentin Tarantino movie, I think he said.
Oh, nice, dude. I just figured he thought you were on Hawaiian time.
Yeah, no. He was gonna come down. Then he left me hanging. So
a shout out to Damien, man. That dude played like an animal. He's definitely coming up, and really proud of him.
Yeah, always has a good attitude. Taking his licks and putting the time in, not always getting to play, and it got a lot of points played this event and showed up. So good for you, Damien, and incredible teammate, lots of laughter, really enjoyable guy to be around. What was Damien saying? Innocence is a bliss.
Innocence.
Ignorance.
He's like, I'm ignorance is bliss.
Oh yeah, I'm ignorance as a bliss.
Dude, the dum-dums, man.
Yeah.
Never ends. All right,
Cool.
We'll go check out the Dum-Dum channel after this, and hopefully those guys are going to put out some more fun videos soon.
What should I show here? Should I show the commercial 100th anniversary? What do we want to see at the end?
That video of Bart maybe yelling.
Okay. I don't have that queued up here, but all right, guys. Well, sorry we didn't have the wheel. Sorry for being 19 minutes late. Sorry for getting third, but we're gonna be back strong. We're gonna win World Cup. We're gonna be back next week with even more gifts. Thank you guys for the best questions, since you don't often send good questions in here. So helping Alex and I out today, and maybe they had more time to ask questions because Ryan wasn't talking the whole time here. So
yeah, and thank you for all the nice comments about my hair and youthful appearance. That really makes me feel good about myself. So thanks for that, guys. And maybe I'll shave.
Be on the lookout for the Hormesis gloves that did not drop yet, but Alex will let you know when those are going to drop. If you want some Tigerwear merch like this, or some beanies, or some headbands, there's some on the site, or the hoodie Alex has got on. And like I said, more gifts, more wheel spins, and more trivia next week. Thank you so
Love
much.
you guys. Thank you. Be good to each other.
We'll see you next week on Tuesday at 4, back here.
It is so very rare in the
Mike's
course
not
of
off.
human
Be
events
careful.
that a duo so powerful and influential comes around and changes the course of history itself. Lennon and McCarthy, R2-D2 and C-3PO, Mario and Luigi, Bert and Ernie, Peanut Butter and Jelly, and now, in the obscure and extremely specific paintball demographic talk show space, two descendants of Winston Churchill himself take you on a weekly adventure every Tuesday at 4 p.m. live on YouTube. Celebrating their 100th episode, which definitely started before the Play the Game podcast, your number one rated live paintball show on YouTube, Kyle Spicka and Ryan Greenspan welcome you to the Spick Span Show.